title screen. John, whenever you're ready, we can pop on over. Hi, Carlos. How you doing? You're muted. Oh, there. Physically, yes. Mentally, maybe. Spiritually, absolutely fucking not. and energetically, I might need a flush. I don't know. Oh, guys, did you see the shirt I'm wearing? You might not be able to. Oh, you can't see my camera because I'm not on. But I have the going with the ruffian attitude tie-dye t-shirt on. Are we all ready? Okay, so just stay quiet while I unmute and transition, and then I will do our little intro.
Your sound is already live.
Hello and welcome, listeners, to the story told stream of Fabula Ultima Echoes. I know we've been gone for a little bit. We had some personal stuff that kind of came up for some of us over the past 2 sessions, and I do apologize. But we are back. We are proud members of the D20 Radio Network, as well as being partnered with Fool's Moon Entertainment. You can find information about both of those on our social media and website. In addition, we are affiliated with Fan Roll Dice by Metallic Dice Games. Enter the code STORYTOLD10 into your order to receive 10% off. And our audio is working. Which is great, considering where we started from. Let's see, PAX Unplugged is coming up the weekend before Thanksgiving. If you are in Philly and attending the conference and you watch our show, I will be there. If you want to say hi, just hit us up on the Discord. I will make time to meet you, greet, we can talk games, we can play games, we can do whatever you want. Let's see what else is going on. I might have found a new co-host. I will be announcing that at our end of year episode, most likely. I have found a new co-host, but we're saving that for a big surprise. Last week, Sunny was on our show for the Cozy Games episode, and it has gotten a lot of really cool discussion. Please check that out in Discord and check the episode out. It was a lot of fun. And I think then that's everything. So I will pass it over to our amazing GM, Jarn. Jarn, take it away.
Oh, God, you said amazing GM. I did not expect that. I was expecting it to go to Carlos or Sonny or someone else. But yeah. I'm just Jarn. You can find me on Blue Sky as well as Start Playing, where I actually have several games looking for players. Currently actually setting up the One Ring 2nd Edition, if anyone would ever be interested in that, on Tuesdays. And again, that is the One Ring 2nd Edition for Start Playing. You can find me, just Jarn. But aside from that, again, I am no one of any greatness here. Not like our dear, darling Carlos, who's muted, and I'm picking on him because I thought he was muted. And everybody's going to be like, why is he not talking? He's going to be like, muted.
I'm muted. Muted, Carlos. I don't have Blue Sky or anything, but Instagram __ king with no crown __. Yeah, have some fun. I've been busy with a lot of rehearsals, so good times for me right now. I'm tired.
That's okay.
After the age of 30, you're always consistently tired. Period.
Truth.
Sonny, why don't you introduce yourself?
Jordan, actually, I was not tired during the shutdown. I was very well rested during the shutdown. I'm going to be real honest about that. Sorry to take away your thunder, Sonny. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Hi, I'm Sunny. I'm on Blue Sky at Ferret of the Forest, and that's usually where you'll get most of the information and news about me, as well as some flavor of who I am as a person. like Logan said, I was a guest star on the podcast, and it was amazing, and I had such a great time, and I hope I can be back on again soon. And it's just been great playing this game. I'm a little sad that we had to miss out a couple times, but I'm glad to be back. So, bringing it over to the last one of our party.
Hi, I'm Ryland. I am unfindable. I don't have social media. Don't try looking. Otherwise, I'm here purely on vibes and to bring the vibes and the funny quips to all of you. So again, thank you for having me.
I love you so much. You have no idea. It's the vibes as you burn
We
down
love
everything.
you too.
As you burn down everything, and I'm sitting there just like, why? Why
I
is
have
this
yet to
happening?
burn down anything here. The explosion was entirely incidental.
I feel like you're the one that was like kind of actually behind it, but that's just me.
No, I took the shiny thing, which is in character for me specifically.
That is true. That is true.
Don't put a shiny thing in front of me, Jarn. No, I will touch it.
Speaking of
It's
shiny,
really
speaking of shiny things, I finally found the problem with having a lot of dice is it's hard to choose which ones to play with.
Yeah.
I had,
that
a
is
really,
a problem.
I had a really difficult time tonight.
All right, and so let me go ahead and set the mood for you guys.
Ever.
It's a great mood.
That tracks.
We're fine. We're fine.
No worries, no worries. It's gonna kick in eventually.
It's part of
Alright.
the plan.
There's a plan. Oh gosh,
And
there is a
Devlin's
plan.
plan. Our plan is
Oh,
to
and we have the
explore
Inception
it.
horn. Always a good thing.
All right, and so let me go ahead. At this point, you will see a large cavernous room. You can tell that this room is actually not naturally built, but rather it seems that it was carved and put there with purpose. The depths of this room is filled with darkness and shadows. Every now and then, occasionally, you hear the dripping of water. Where it's coming from, you don't really know. But that's not what you're paying attention to. Rather, what you're looking at this point is the fact that there happens to be an individual strewn about the ground in front of this massive door. Etched upon the door, you see what looks like a dragon with a multitude of heads growing from its torso. You'll see that just beneath it, water seems to cascade down, or rather, it's etched in stone, demonstrating water cascading down and in motion. The person breathes heavily. She lifts herself up and she looks towards the door. Blood dried upon the edges of her mouth. She looks over and says, I don't know how to get through. At this point, you're going to see an individual, a young woman, just outside of her teens and her early 20s, kind of stand out from the shadows, moving towards this individual in particular. She seems almost perfect for a high society gathering within Kirkbray, as her attire is demonstrative of this. She wears a bonnet, she has a very wide dress, and she has a lot of ruffles upon her. She steps forward. Now, I told you, there's not many options you have here, old Mel. You are clearly the smartest one there, and you're the one that's going to figure out how to open this door. And I know you know how to do this. Old Mel goes ahead and turns her attention back towards the door. She punches the ground. I told you, child, I don't know. You cannot make me understand this any better. Even if I had a guide in front of me, I just don't know this information. You see that the young woman goes ahead and clicks the top of her mouth with her tongue several times. Fine. I didn't want to get things a little dirtier, but if need be, cider. With that, you see this young man clearly having some familiar resemblance with the young woman. He stands out, and you see that he grasps at his head with gloved hands. What do you want, sister? Cider, my dear, make sure that she responds. Again, I want her to try to open this door, and please don't fail me, Cider. You see that Cider kind of turns his attention back towards the woman, then back towards his sister. He throws his head back and he goes, can't you just get someone else to do this? The woman goes ahead and smiles and says, no. Now, I assume that her relations will be coming here soon. I need to make certain we have everything prepared should they try to rescue her. Cider goes ahead and lets out a long sigh. Fine. With that, you see that the young woman goes ahead and offers a smile, and then turns, looking once more at the door, and then walks off into the shadows. Cider looks over. All right, lady, I don't want to be here any longer than you do. Get to it. You see at this point that he pulls out a pistol from a holster that he has. He points it towards the old woman, to old Mel, and at this point just holds it there towards her. You'll see that the old Mel turns her attention back towards him, looking down at the barrel, but you see that worry begins to play upon her face. Perhaps she does know something. And so, at this point, you guys would be obtaining 2 Fabula points. Now, remember, we haven't played in a while, so if you had 0 Fabula points from last session, you gain 1. This will automatically give you another 2, so you should have a total of 3 Fabula points.
Hey, Jordan, real quick, how do you delete stuff off your sheet? Because I have this emergency arcanum on there 4 times for some reason, and I'm just wanting to fix it because it's distracting. Do you know?
Let me take a look at your sheet. I'll tell you right now.
Go to the hamburger menu of the skill. Just click on it and it has edit, duplicate, and delete.
When I click on it, it doesn't do it. It just opens. It just opens the...
It's a skill, right? A skill or a feature?
Yeah.
In its little, like, tab, there's on the top of, like, on the opposite side of your sheet from its name, there's a star, a, like, little pen and notebook, and then a hamburger menu.
Yeah, when I click on that hamburger,
with the 3 lines.
When I click on that, it doesn't do anything. I'll just refresh it. Okay, sorry to interrupt. Thank you so much.
No worries. And so, at this point, our companions find themselves standing in front of Namu. Namu is this building that stands kind of on its own within the center of this decrepit area. The building kind of matches, reflecting that of the area that's located in. You can see that the years have not been kind to this building, and you can see that several individuals have attempted to actually even make additions to the building, kind of giving it this very wonky and somewhat paltry look to it. Again, it looks as though the destitute and the downtrodden probably collect here. Sure enough, looking around the neighborhood, you'll notice several individuals sitting within the shadows of nearby buildings, kind of minding their own business. For the most part, you can feel almost your heartstring being tugged, these poor unfortunate individuals. But in reality, you know that this is just another aspect of Ymir, the massive city that covers this planet. There is always the downtrodden. There is always those who are suffering. And so, as you guys are looking around, you're going to notice that several individuals, specifically gang members belonging to that of the Dallin twin gangs, known as roamers, happen to be walking about, almost keeping their attention, looking around, trying to find any sort of trouble and trying to quail it before it gets into Namu itself. And so, what do you, as the players, do?
We were like gonna sneak into this compound, right?
Yeah. We were going to try to get recruited.
I think we did get recruited.
So what ended up happening, Amelia and Dee ended up going in. Luca and Benji were in the background. There was some kind of explosion of some sort.
And pro tip for all you GM and players out there, yeah, you want to make sure you don't spend a month not playing. Things might happen you might not remember.
Yeah, but I remember Amelia and Dee actually ended up going into them. They followed the guys.
And then we said that the guys were our bodyguards or something. 'Cause I think
We're hanging back.
Yeah.
Right. Benji and Luca were hanging back just to see if what would happen, if anything. I think it would probably be best the girls went in, and if they need help, maybe they blow something up. That's our cue. I don't know.
Yeah, I got disguised and put on an accent and I think a name. I don't remember the name.
All right, so what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to be putting up a clock. This is a 4-section clock. It is not going to be difficult per se to get through it, but the clock will determine your success in trying to get through the disguise and trying to bypass the guards. And so for this clock, it is going to be sadly, I'm not going to be giving you an option. This is going to be Dexterity Insight in order to disguise yourself. The DL is going to be 10 to try to get through, and everybody's going to have a chance in order to commit to these disguises or find ways of helping your companions in trying to make it seem like they should be disguised. And so, who is the first player as you approach several of these roamers?
Amelia.
Yeah, I think I made a pretty big splash, huh?
You did.
I think I intimidated somebody into letting us in.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
So you said Dex Insight?
Dex Insight.
Not great dice, but okay.
Oh, DL is going to be 10, by the way.
Yeah. I think I'm re-rolling that insight. Give me one moment. I'll re-roll that I'll re-roll that with my trait of with my theme of impulsive. Because this whole deal is a little bit impulsive. I'm gonna push that one.
Yeah. We need that.
All right.
I don't want to be embarrassed in front of D. Push it to an 11.
I don't want to be embarrassed in front of you. All right, excellent. At this point, you're going to see that the several roamers, you're going to notice one big guy kind of wears a top hat. You can tell that this person, he has that kind of look, just a person that's probably grown up on the wrong side of the town or wrong side of the street, and you'll see that he kind of has this more suspicious look about him. He has this beard growing upon his chin, and he kind of eyes you, and he keeps one eye cocked really big, comparatively speaking, to the other. You'll see that several of the other roamers, one of them in specific, is a woman, probably in her 30s. She seems to have like a cool edge about her, seems a little bit more experienced, and as you approach, the big guy just kind of like, "This is the one they're talking about. Look at her. She said she want to join. She scared a few of them punks that we got." The woman comes out and she says, "Oh, just Atticus, be quiet. So, as you approach, we heard you were interested in joining us. Is that a fact?" You see, as she says that,
Sure as you can get it.
she pulls out a knife just to seem a little more intimidating.
It's a fact as true as you can get it, love. We're here to join, and you can put that piddly little knife away. We're not leaving until you let us in.
You see that she kind of looks at you for a moment, and she says, I'm sorry. I must have had something in my ears, because I swear you were making the demands here. No, no, no. You understand, this is not your place. This is ours. Also, who's that? And she points the knife towards D.
So,
Good friend of mine.
X. And she's just like looking at her like unimpressed. Doesn't even like bother to look at the knife. Just says X for her name.
All right, and again, if you want to get through, let's go ahead and do the disguise clock. It's going to be a DL10, dexterity and insight.
All right. Check. Dexterity, insight. No. All right, I'm going to also reroll.
Hey, you're stealing my numbers.
I am. Gonna reroll that insight, and I'm gonna use unknown origin.
That works.
Yeah.
We don't know who this person is. We don't know where she comes from.
Come on.
Oh,
X
gosh.
could be her name. You can
Okay.
re-roll it again.
I can. All right, I'll do it. Why not?
For our listeners and watchers, we went from a 2 on the insight dice out of 8 to a 1 on that insight
Yeah.
dice out of 8.
It's not great. So, lost soul. Come on. Really? All right, I'm pushing.
There you are, you can push.
Push is good.
Oh, it should
Push it
let me.
real good.
It was a 1. There we go. Book bond to push. Bond of mistrust. So basically, she's like, okay, I really have to like be on my guard here because not only do I have all these strangers, but I don't know that Amelia has my back.
Doubt.
I did it!
I just doubt this person so much.
I did it, you guys!
You did it! You used all 3 Fabula points that you gained from the beginning of this, didn't you?
Great start. I really hope we get another villain scene.
We're gonna get another level this session.
We're doing fantastic, guys. 4 weeks, at least. We're a little rusty. My dice rolling skills are a little rusty.
Oh, yeah, that was rough.
So you're going to see that the woman kind of leans in forward, and again she's pointing her knife at you. She kind of leans forward and she says, "Your ex, is that even a name?"
Doesn't matter.
Probably not, but still. Do I know you from somewhere? You see that the giant man that's standing next to her kind of like look down and he grumbles for a moment and he says, "I think I might have seen her before too." And you see that the woman goes ahead. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Okay. I'm broke. Of course I've been around here scrummaging through the things that are around here so I could sell something.
She cocks an eyebrow and she points her knife towards herself and she says, No, there's something. Was it the news? No. Were you on TV?
You might
No.
have
I
been
really look like
on
I've
the
been on
news.
TV.
We are very well wanted because we are very good criminals. We would be an asset to you. We're offering our services.
You see that she goes ahead, and for a moment she stops. Her mouth opens slightly, kind of just like amazed at your confession, and she comes down and she says,
Hey.
"Criminals? Interesting. Well, if you are criminals, then what about those blokes over there?" and she goes ahead and nods. At this point, she turns her attention over towards where Lucas as well as Benji would be. At this point, you'll see that Benji and Luca, you quickly, you're kind of like standing there from a distance watching what's happening. You're going to see that she points in your direction, and at this point, Luca and Benji, both of you are going to realize that you hear footsteps as kind of from around the alleyway, several individuals start like kind of popping out. You'll see that they seem like they're also roamers, their hands upon their weapons, not threatening you, but they kind of realize you've been there this entire time.
Luca will roll his shoulders back a little bit, adopting that casual arrogance of royalty, that hoping it comes off as bravado, and just kind of like does the little chin sup, and puts his hand like on the because his gun's at his side, kind of like puts his hand on like the butt of his gun and just kind of drums his fingers. Not threatening, but just making it known that he like knows how to wield that.
You see that a few of the roamers kind of walk up towards Luca and as well as Benji, and at this point, again, they have their weapons out, but not in a threatening way. They're not holding it to kind of demonstrate a threat, just a potential of it. And one of them kind of like nods towards you and points towards the woman as well as the giant man that's up towards the door where your companions are at, kind of leading you in that direction.
Luca will head that way. Not about to start another fight yet. I'm not ready.
Our dice rolls aren't up to par with a fight.
We got our asses whooped last time. Sorry, Carlos.
No, you're fine. Benji reluctantly doesn't want to go. He doesn't say absolutely anything. He sees that Luca walks, so he's like walking behind Luca just to make sure he has view of everything around him.
Excellent. You begin to approach, and you see that the woman kind of looks over, and again, she has a knife in her hand that she twirls about every now and then. Impulsively, she'll go ahead and kind of toss it in the air, catch it, and juggle the knife around, whereas the large man standing next to her just kind of keeps silent, keeping his gaze upon you guys. And you'll see that almost the entire time. He seems to have his eyebrow kind of cocked as he's kind of watching you. Again, just you can feel the tension that is coming off of him as he's just waiting for anything to go wrong. And you might think he's waiting for something to go wrong because he wants to jump into a scrap. He wants to fight. At this point, you'll see that the woman comes over and looks over towards the two that are coming in, which would be Luca and Benji, and at this point turns back towards I'm gonna say Amelia. Turns back towards Amelia and just like, so, and you said these two, as well as yourselves, are criminals. The best.
Well, one of them our most recent find. We bring him to you as a peace offering.
She looks over towards the other two, and she's like, so what's your story? Why do you want to join?
Is she saying that to Luca or Benji?
Luca or Benji, you guys pick whoever wants to jump in first. If you do jump in, feel free to go ahead and roll. Your roll is going to be a dexterity insights. DL is going to be 10.
Do you want to go, Carlos, or do you want me to go?
You go first, and then I'll follow.
Luca just kind of grins a little bit. What can I say? I'm bored. Very, very, very bored. And I'll roll that. I'm gonna roll that dexterity and insight.
I'm laughing because that's what I was gonna say.
I rolled a 14.
All right, that actually succeeds, and that is going to go ahead and fill up the clock. All right, excellent. Benji, you don't need to roll, but if you'd like to add anything, you definitely can.
Do it, Rudy.
Benji just... Well, I was going to say Benji was bored, but Benji just still doesn't say absolutely anything. He thinks he's being tough, I believe he's stoic. So, so he just kind of like shrugs his shoulders and just looks away.
When Benji does that, Luca kind of tilts his head and then looks back. He doesn't talk much. Strong, silent type, you know. Can't take him anywhere.
Benji, Benji.
He likes to get bloody, though.
Benji looks at Luca, gives him like a little nod, and then spits on the ground just to ensure dominance.
Yo, Luca, I'm going to ask you to do a willpower insight check.
Oh, fuck
And
me.
the DL is going to be 13.
Okay. Oh.
What's this for? For him not to be disgusted by that act?
Oh, no. I just love that Benji's this bloody monster and he tries to spit, and the spit just kind of falls right short next to like his foot and stuff, like barely missing him. I'm just kind of like, okay, I want to see how dangerous this Benji really is. Does she believe it?
Okay.
Wait, did you want me to roll?
No.
Want me to roll? Or?
No, this is Luca.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to spend a Fabula point to... I can spend Fabula points to reroll, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you can invoke a trait and reroll. Yep.
And if I want to reroll both...
Yeah, it's the same. As long as you have the trait, you can reroll 1 or 2 dice.
Okay, so it's 1 Fabula point to reroll both of them, right?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, because that roll was not good. In fact, we're going to switch dice. That felt very uncomfortable.
Dice jail.
You said the difficulty was 13?
13.
Son of a bitch, I'm doing it again. I can do it again, right?
Invoking another trait, yes.
Yep, we are definitely going to do that. Because that was a 6. You know what, let's use the dice cup. That's a 6. You know what? Fuck you and the horse you rode it on.
So Benji just ends up spitting on his shoe.
At this point, you're gonna see that the woman goes ahead and turns her attention towards Benji, and she goes, You're saying that this man is one who likes blood? Psst. He looks like he would blow over. He would fall over with passing of a blowing wind. Look at him. He's nothing. And you see that she kind of approaches Benji, kind of just getting into his face, and she puts a finger on his chest, and she says, "Are you going to fall down? Are you scared?"
So, because we've already established that Benji doesn't speak, Luca will, kind of cross his arms and touch his chin. I suppose others have never underestimated you then. So lucky that you've experienced that pleasure. Trying to rein this in a little bit.
So, Benji, how do you respond?
Benji looks at the woman, looks down at the finger, looks back at the woman, smiles,
Cut it off.
and then just stands there. Doesn't say anything. It's not gonna say anything.
She kind of goes ahead and grins, leaning in closer towards Benji, and she says, "No, I have been surprised by overestimating or underestimating some of my opponents before. I'm not going to underestimate him. He is handsome, though. Although he seems to have this air of a dullard about him. Anyways, with that, she leans back, and she goes ahead. She tosses the knife once more in the air and goes ahead and sheaths the knife. Well then, if you are who you say you are, indeed, the roamers would be more than happy to have you join our little group. But first you have to make it to Miss Dallin's office." At this point, she turns her attention towards the massive door, And she looks towards the large man, and she's just like, Atticus, open the door. We have new recruits. And with that, you'll see that Atticus goes ahead, and again, he seems very suspicious. He's just like, are you sure they're just not trying to get in for nefarious purposes and reasons? And she's like, turns towards him and sharply says, yes, those three, perhaps, they might be up to no good, but that one over there, turning towards Benji, he's, well, look at him, he's somewhat slow. At this point, you'll see that Atticus goes ahead and just looks over towards Benji. He goes, I don't think so, but very well. Fine, Sliver, I'll do what you say. And with that, you'll see that Atticus begins to open the door leading into what is Namu. The lot of you are basically faced now with this open threshold leading into the depths of this building. You'll see that Sliver goes ahead and begins to walk in through the door and kind of turns only momentarily to pause. She says, well then, are you going to be waiting outside all day?
Luca will start walking forward.
He starts following.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, each of you begin to move into the building. As finally the last of you makes it through the door, you'll see that the door, Atticus begins to close the door behind you. The darkness kind of filtering in behind. And at that point, you'll see that the door closes. Atticus, at this point, looks over, and for a moment he's like, I know I've seen him before. Was it the Moon's Cradle? And at that point, you see almost a light turn on in Atticus's eyes as he starts to recount a memory that he may have had once a long time ago. The inside of Namu is one that demonstrates the sadness. One moment, let me go ahead and put it here. My apologies, just setting this up. Here we go. All right, perfect. The inside of Namu, the city within the city, is one that again demonstrates and shows the desolation and the desperations of equal measures of individuals trying to survive within Emir. Those who are trying to do what they can, but at the same time having to turn to the worst of individuals in order to find a semblance of normalcy within this city. As you pass through the halls, you'll see that Sliver leads you through, kind of walking, almost taking steps as though she was dancing or trotting by. You'll see several rooms, you'll see several doors. Some of the rooms or doors are left open. You'll see several of the roamers kind of gathered watching a TV or kind of caught in conversation. Other doors open to other rooms where you see individuals, perhaps grandparents or older folk, kind of coughing and left to their own demise. Again, it's not a place that one wants to go. It's a deplorable place where these people try to find protection from the world by giving either their life or their wealth or all of their belongings to try to survive. At this point, you'll see that Sliver takes you through several of these halls, turning left and right, going down one hall, and then turning and going down another. Eventually, she goes down a set of stairs, and at this point, she stops at the bottom of those stairs. She turns her attention back towards you. Now, I do apologize. I don't mean to be rude. I know that you all have your heart on becoming roamers. But we do have tests that we need to take in order to kind of be able to weed out individuals, potential recruits. And so, at this point, she points towards one door. You will need to go through that door. If you succeed, you'll find me at the other end. If not, I will know that you weren't worthy enough for what it takes to become a roamer. Do you understand? And she turns directly towards Benji and looks at him. Do you understand?
Benji just nods his head and just looks away.
He's absolutely adorable. Anyways, have fun. Ta-da! And she begins to go back up the stairs, leaving you guys standing at that door. For anyone that is sensitive to the elements, or anyone that's sensitive to the natural world, or highly perceptive, you can almost hear the lulls of waves crashing upon a distant shore. The smell of salt and brine is very, very heavy upon the air here. For most, they will never recognize that. But for those who, again, are sensitive to the elements, or sensitive and have like a very good perception or awareness of their surrounding, it's something that you pick up very easily.
Would I pick up on this, like, knowing what it was from my own past? Like, this sounds like the ocean, right?
Are you very sensitive? Is Luca sensitive to the elements? Or to the natural world?
Theoretically, but also it would have come from a world before this was like a city planet. So I would like have I think I would probably recognize the sound of like waves on a beach, because I came from that time before this all happened. Remember?
This is not something that's wholly audible. It's not something that's actually happening there at this moment. It's almost like a memory that is stuck in time. And that's why if you're sensitive to elements, I would say yes, your character would probably pick up on this. If you're a person that's very perceptive, again, this almost sounds like a murmur, like a distant sound, but it's something that you'd probably pick up as well.
Would psychic gifts count as being sensitive?
I'm asking you the question. You tell me.
Oh,
yes, my
I
character's
thought you
sensitive.
were.
I'm like, oh my gosh, your
you.
character's sensitive.
I misunderstood. Apologies. Gotcha.
No worries.
Yeah. I think Luca would at least. I can't speak for everyone else, though.
I think Amelia would be
right.
sensitive to the elements. She's got some magic in her.
Not Benji.
Diaz, she's had to spend her whole life on guard, so she developed kind of extra perception just because of that. But
Excellent.
something's not right up ahead. I don't like this.
So I'm not the only one that can hear it.
Benji's looking around. He's like, making sure that nobody else was around him. He's like, okay, I can talk now. What are you hearing?
Waves.
Water. Would I know what the ocean is?
I mean, I'm going to turn right back towards you and look at you, and I'm like, do you think your character would know what the ocean is?
If there's ocean on the planet, yes. She's was part of one of those rich families. I'd imagine that they vacationed out to where it's not desolate and polluted. So if there is a beach on the planet, she would have seen it.
So Ymir has no beaches. Like, the planet city of Ymir has no beaches. I will say, though, that chances are is that if you were part of a wealthy family, one within Moon's Cradle, chances are is that they might have had, like, for lack of a better term, a simulation. Not like an actual, like, simulator, but, like, you know, cameras or whatever, like, you know, projections and the sound of oceans and stuff like that. Old recordings kind of scenario, trying to emulate or try to recapture that feeling or that sense. But again, it's all...
they've got a wave pool up at a water park somewhere. Okay.
Something to that effect, yes.
He knows it because in her war child training, they had different scenarios in different places that they were kind of like talking about to inform the recruits.
Luca just remembers.
And it is a distant memory, but it's a dark memory too.
Luca just remembers actually being in an ocean.
How nice.
So nice.
You got to see the
So-
sun.
The light from a bulb up ahead kind of flickers, and for the moment, you're standing within the bottom level of these stairs, looking. You see where Sliver had gone up, and for the most part, you see almost an open invitation. Maybe you're not meant to be roamers. Maybe this is something you can avoid altogether. But at the same time, something draws that attention of yours. There's something here, something that doesn't feel right. Sure, it feels ominous. It feels like this could lead you to disaster, but at the same time, there's something else, something underlying all of this. You turn your attention towards the door, and again, the door is just this wooden, rickety door, kind of almost hanging on to these rusted hinges, and you'll see that the door stands out, almost demanding your attention, wanting you to go through. But it is all up to you guys. What do you guys do?
This is a test. We should go through it, even though I have a really bad feeling about it.
The only way forward is through.
I always did like the feeling of passing tests, and I'll open the door.
Do we all need to go in?
And
I'd imagine.
when Benji says that, as Amelia opens the door, he just drags him through, like not even getting it. It's like not today, dude. Not today.
No, you don't get to opt out of this.
Enough it. Come on.
You like blood.
Relay race sort of mindset.
You like blood, remember? Oh fuck! There's another clock, everyone.
Oh no!
No, that's a big clock. Oh no!
Oh god, it's so big!
That's not fair at all. That's not fair at all.
That's
The moment-
10 slices.
This feels
The
painful.
moment you step through, you see that the hall continues. Here again, kind of almost mimicking it, the rest of this location. You see several doors on either side. You'll notice that most of these doorways, though, or these portals, the doors are open. What catches your attention as soon as you step through is the fact that there is a myriad amount of people. They are sitting upon the floor or cast upon the floor itself, again, in a state of numbness. Some of them moan and cry out. Others are sobbing quietly amongst themselves. None of them seem to be attentive or knowing and aware of their surrounding. You'll see that the hall continues. On the far end is another door. Where that door leads, you can only assume is where Sliver would be waiting for you. As you begin to step through, though, memories begin to flood back into your mind. Memories that you wouldn't have considered. Memories you perhaps would have thought would have been long gone. At this point, as you step through, the world begins to fade, and you step and walk in through memories. Regrets that linger upon your character's souls. Things that you perhaps don't want to face, or perhaps you've always were meant to face it, you just never had the chance. And so, I would like to go down. You have a clock. We're going to take turns, just like a normal scene. Everybody's going to have a turn. The clock is going to be a 10-slice clock. You can use an objective action to try to... oh, sorry. Let me go ahead. It should be 10 filled. Because you're trying to reduce it. There you go. I'm going to give you guys one slice. Alright, so it's a 10-slice clock. I'll give you guys one slice. You're going to try to reduce that clock. The DL for that clock is going to be 10. One of the attributes that needs to be used is going to be willpower. I'll let you choose whatever other attribute you would like to try to roll in order to reduce the clock. Now, if you fail upon the clock or on the roll, something terrible may happen. What exactly? I don't know. We're going to find out. But you gotta decide who gets to go first as your thoughts, your character's memories begin to flood in.
Since Amelia went in first, I feel like she would be hit first.
Yeah, I was thinking along the same logic. I opened the door. Seems only fair.
Knock, knock!
Knock, knock, bitches! It's me, ya boy!
Oh, demons.
Oh, demons! Oh, goat man!
All right, so it's going to be DL10. Willpower is going to be one of the attributes. What memory do you think Amelia is holding on to that would be causing her some troubles?
The memory of the night that she left. I think. And you said DL is 10.
DL is 10.
Cool. I did it.
You did it. You got 11. Excellent. The memory comes upon Amelia as she steps through. Again, the world seems to fade, and for the most part, you're no longer in the halls, but rather you're kind of looking out towards the house, the location that you had been a part of for such a while that you almost felt like this is your home. And yet, you have that feeling that this isn't your home any longer. At this point, you go ahead and you let out a sigh. You turn your back and begin to make your way you begin to make your path away from the house. All right, who's next?
That would be me. And the memory that is most unsettling is probably the night that Dee destroyed the lab she escaped from. It was bad.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
All right, DL10, willpower is one of the attributes. I'll let you choose the other one.
Alright, roll check. We're gonna do... Let me see what I got. Alright, we're gonna do willpower and might. Good. Hello? Do the thing.
Oh no.
You might have to
All right.
just kind of step out and refresh the...
Yep, I'll do that real quick.
By the way, I do apologize if anybody hears dogs. It just happens to be my dogs, and there's probably some cat outside running around, and my dogs are like, oh my gosh, we gotta talk to them, let's sing. And they start barking.
Dogs,
Friend.
dogs will dog.
Friend,
Dogs
friend,
will
friend.
dog.
Dogs do the dogging.
Big dogs gotta eat.
Well, I mean, I've seen a couple of dogs that don't dog. They like Beethoven and Air Bud and all that stuff. Like,
And those
they
dogs
weren't
are
dogging.
and those dogs are paid a lot of money to do that.
Cujo.
Them's the Hollywood dogs, John. You ain't got Hollywood dog money for Hollywood dogs.
Very nice. At this point, D, the memories of the laboratory being destroyed. At this point, you feel your mutations overclaim you, and you see that your anger and wrath kind of gives them purpose. You look around, and you see the destruction that you have laid and caused, and for the most part, you feel no sorrow for this. You turn, and you begin to walk. You probably hear the scream of one scientist, or perhaps one of several of the scientists that are there, but that doesn't matter. To you, that is the song of freedom, and you make your way out. Excellent. All right, who is next?
Probably Luca, because Luca would have been dragging Benji through. And Luca's memory is probably the last public meeting with his parents at court before the kingdom fell, about how everything was about to come to ruin. Like, basically, like, the shit had hit at the fan, and that our lives are forfeit, everything we know will change after this day, just basically before everything went black. More or less. And I'm going to be doing willpower and insight.
All right, deal's done.
I'm going to spend my last Fabula point to reroll my insight. I'll update my sheet in just a second. That's even worse. I got an 8.
Dice jail, dice jail.
I switched my dice too. I legit. This is set 3 and 4 of the evening. I am not happy.
You see that night in court, again, there was a special celebration that was being held. For the most part, your father and your mother, the king and queen, respectively, of the court, were honoring several members. And at this point, you see that the king and queen, demonstrating their wealth, demonstrating their regalness, kind of like looks over towards you, Luca. Everybody is waiting for the young prince to make his way. Again, it's almost time for you to claim your right to be at the throne, to be standing next to your mother and father. And as you begin to make your way over there, you see that your father stands up. But as he does so, he stands up and he's going to toast you. He holds up this golden goblet that is bejeweled, and you see that he lifts it up towards you, Luca. And as he stands, you see that time almost takes its toll upon him, and he begins to wither in front of you until finally all you see is a skeletal figure standing there with the goblet in hand. The goblet falls, and everything begins to turn to dust, and fire begins to fill the area. At this point, Luca, you are going to be taking 10 points of damage.
Cool.
As your regrets overwhelm you.
Awesome. I love to hear it.
Benji, you are up.
So Benji, as he walks in, he just feels a sense of sadness just rush all over him, and the memory of the day he turned 9. His mother gave him his first chess set, and he went over to his father while his father was in his laboratory, and he asked his father, he's like, "Can you play chess with me?" And the father just ignored him and said, "No, now," and then just went back to work. You see Benji just turning around, going back to his room and sitting on the floor and playing chess by himself. And he realized that at that moment that really all he had was himself.
All right. DL is going to be 10, willpower, and you get to choose what the other die is going to be.
Dexterity.
All right, that succeeds. Oops, sorry, wrong way. Benji, as you are sitting there playing chess, this is a common occurrence for you. This has always been a common occurrence for you. You've always felt neglected, mostly by your parents, specifically your father. The one person you've always looked up to for some reason. Again, it's just that love of a child towards their parents. It's innocent. It is meant to be one that fills you with pride. And so you've had that. You've had that pride. And you looked always up to your father, but he never seemed to look down towards you. He never cared enough about you. At least that's how you feel. And at that moment, you move one of the chess pieces on the board. Why does nobody want to play with me? Why doesn't father want to play with me? You kind of ask yourself. In the next instance, you're going to see that a young boy, almost appearing like Luca, looking but rather relatively younger, much younger, goes ahead, and you see that this boy goes ahead and moves a chess piece, kind of answering your chess piece, your movement on the board. The boy just smiles at you. All right. So I am going to need from everybody willpower. DL is going to be 7.
Ooh, that's a good roll for me, technically.
Oh, golly.
Benji just straight up just rolled 1 7 by itself. It was like, there you go. I don't need the other one.
I think I shall re-roll those.
I rolled a 9.
I'll just re-roll the 2.
Oh, you said the difficulty was 7? I passed! I rolled a 9.
Yep.
Never mind, I'm good.
I passed.
I thought I failed again. The dice tell the story.
It's not a bad story.
So,
I'm just wondering, Amelia, how did you have like so many Fabula points?
I started with 3. I started with 3. And then we gained the 2 extra.
You've already spent like 3. Like 3 already before this one. That would have been 4.
Yes. I'll decrease it by 1. I think I took the 3 from if we had 0.
So you've been cheating this entire time.
No. I started with 3. You said that somewhere along the way you said if you started with nothing, you take 3 because we got the villain thing.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I'll just decrease my Fabula point by 1. I have 1 left. There we go. Problem solved.
At this point, you begin to hear again, in the distance, you hear the soft ebbing of an ocean. In whatever memory you're in, a mist begins to grow, thickening almost with every passing second. It begins to fill the peripheral of your vision. At this point, you're going to see that you step through and you'll see... Sorry, as you're standing within your vision, or in your memory, you're going to go ahead and see that it gets clouded with that gray mist. In the next instance, you find yourself in another moment, in another time. A time that, again, has significance for your character. Perhaps a moment that was pleasing to them, or happy. A moment that gave them hope. But, as you all know, hope can turn to despair quite easily. And so, who would like to go first on this attempt? The DL is going to still be 10. Willpower will still be one of the attributes. I'll let you choose what the other one is.
Can I go first?
Who would like to go first?
Can I go first so I can step away to the bathroom after that?
Sure.
Okay, so Luca is caught up from that memory beforehand, going back further to his debut at court. And this was years before, maybe 5-6 years before, maybe 10. And everything is completely different. It is joyous, it is happy, there is celebration, there is color, there is life, music and dancing and candles and liquor and wine. And it's not hedonist, but it's just celebratory. And it's a counterpoint to how far they fell in such a relatively short amount of time. And I'm going to do willpower
All right.
inside again.
Good luck. Deal 10.
17.
That will work.
And
17.
Once you're done, I will...
1, 2, 3. All right, you're going to be reducing the clock by 3. Yes, this memory is a celebratory memory. It's one that actually brings or invokes a lot of hope in Luca. It's one that he keeps close to his heart, and whenever he feels down or whenever the world seems to be against him, Luca always turns back towards that memory. What was the last thing that your father said to you, Luca, in that memory?
I think the last thing he said to Luca, in that memory, the last thing he said is, "Remember, Luca, my son, this moment. This is what we fight for. This is who we are. This is everything that you will lead one day. And everything you become in the future, I hope it is because of this."
Excellent. You'll see that the gray mist begins to swirl again, and at this point, Luca, you feel a moment of sadness, not because you are sad, but it's that happiness that kind of turns melancholy just because you remember it so well, and it was something that you keep forever in your heart. Mm-hmm. And so, I'm going to turn towards Logan and say, all right, everybody, I think we should take a quick break. I think that would be cool, and then we come back and we finish off everybody's memory.
Excellent. Let me switch to our break card real quick. Transition, and we'll mute all that, and we should be good to go. Perfect. See you all in a minute. No, ma'am. No,
They know that we're not
no barking.
at all.
Yo, Logan, we're not muted. Sapphire, man, I missed you. Oh my gosh, it's been like, what, 3 months? A year? 60
It hasn't
days?
been that long. Just a few weeks. 4 weeks. Almost a month. 2 months.
Feels like forever, though. I'll be honest with
It's been a bit.
you. Yeah, you haven't played in a while. But,
Right.
Una.
You're on a small screen.
oh, sorry. Sorry, yeah, that's also flash. It's the Imperial Maledictum GM, what do you call the GM, screen?
Oh, how fun. Are we going to play it again?
That is the Imperial Maledictum from the Inquisition Player's Guide.
Ooh.
Although I need to get the PDF for that one, so I can share with you guys, because I don't think these were in details for videos. And then also, finally, Imperial Maledictum, the Inquisition Guide, GM's Guide.
Ooh. Maybe I'll play Psyker next time.
Actually, I wouldn't be done for playing Imperial Maledictum. Like, I don't know, I'm bouncing between that one, like, I have no hope for Cyberpunk Red, so that one's kind of like, that should be sailed.
I want to play it.
And Dragon Age has kind of sailed as well, so I'm just kind of like, you know what? I might bounce between Imperial Maledictum and the One Ring Second Edition as the next game to play.
That's fair. That's fair. I feel like there was one. I feel like there was one that I was thinking that we might enjoy, but no. I won't remember what it was. I'll be real.
Well, yeah, one that actually I did play, but again, it's very fantasy, is that Draw Steel one. And Draw Steel is I think it's actually a really nice game in terms of the action mechanics. But Draw Steel tells you that it's not meant to be like a heavy role-playing game. It's meant to be like heavy action game.
If you think I don't like fantasy, you have the exact wrong impression of me.
I know you're like looking forward to playing the One Ring again. I know this. I know that you want to bring Lily back.
I like elves. I'm dying to play it.
Does Daggerheart have fairies yet? Right. I really like it. I don't understand how you are, because it's saying it's muted on my end. It literally says it's muted on my end. What? I don't... At least it's not tieflings. I am so over tieflings. I thought Fantasy Age came out before Dragon Age tabletop. Is it the other way around? Interesting. Probably. I'm gonna be that contrarian, and I cannot stand Cthulhian stuff usually. Fair enough. Fair enough. Are we ready to come back, my friends? Okay.
So well, now I understand. Okay, yes, I'm
What,
ready.
me?
Yes, you.
Oh my god.
And we are
Yeah.
back. Huzzah!
All
Hello.
right, and so when we left off, it was Luca who had a memory that was actually not tragic. It was one that was mirthful and actually inspirational. But Luca was the first. Who is the next? Remember, the clock is still up. It has only 2 slices left. DL is 10. This is going to be willpower attribute and whatever other die you like, or other attribute you would like to choose. Who would like to go?
I guess I can. And I'll do the roll first, then describe the memory.
Excellent.
Okay. So it's going to be willpower might again. Woo. So it's her happy / hopeful memory is the first time that she found shelter in a place that was unoccupied, and it was like a little hole in the wall, but it was her hole in the wall, and it was her first taste of like freedom and security in the same measure.
The fact that Dee had found a place, and mostly one where there was no threat, was both a moment that was surprising, scary, but at the same time soothing. And at that point, Dee began to realize that you could make it out in the world, that you did have your freedom to a certain degree. Again, to say that one is free within a mirror is a bit of a stretch, but at least you had found a piece of that freedom. And you enjoyed it. And at this point, the gray mist begin to swirl around Dee's memories. Eventually begins to fade. And you find Dee, you begin to awaken, and Luca, you'll notice that Luca as well is kind of waking up, and you'll see that you guys had barely made it through the threshold. Just in front of you is Amelia, face down upon the ground. Off to the side, where Luca kind of dragged in Benji. Benji is kind of leaning up on the wall in an awkward position. At this point, you'll see that Amelia and Benji both seem to be reacting to their memories, either calling out in joy or sadness, screaming or moaning, but for the most part, you'll see that they are still entrapped by the darkness. At this point, Dee, Luca, how do you awaken your companions?
So Dee goes over to Amelia and first checks her pulse, because it's just, instinct at this point. And then finding that there is a pulse, she kind of like sits Amelia up and not so gently kind of smacks her awake, or tries to smack her awake.
Can I get a mic check on that one, please?
No, you cannot.
DL7?
That's rude.
DL7?
That's fair.
No.
DL2, please.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I heard the player said she's going to wake her up, harsh, but not too harsh. That just, that's a slap in the face? Come on.
I'm not punching her. I'm just patting her.
There's an unarmed strike feature somewhere in there.
Do you know I don't think Dee knows how strong she really is.
Oh my god.
Amelia, whatever memory, whatever thought you had in mind begins to dissipate, and soon you kind of find yourself again being awoken. And at this point, you see that Dee is kind of just like slightly slapping you in the face, trying to get your attention. At this point, you open your eyes and you see that Dee's just like looking at you. And again, you look around and you realize that you are in the real world.
Okay. Dee, thank you. You didn't have to hit me so hard, but thank you.
I don't know my own strength sometimes.
Mic check. You just admitted it. You just admitted it. Come on, mic check.
Running counter to Dee's methods.
Self-love, we're gonna call it.
Luca kneels down, like on one knee next to Benji, and just kind of like with two fingers, kind of just like tilts his chin to push his face around a little bit, and then kind of just like rubs his chin and lightly strokes by his ear. Morning. Wake up, Sleeping Beauty. It's time to go.
Oh. Who rolls?
Those were words. I don't know. I think willpower check against that.
Yeah.
What do you roll
Insight
for?
willpower.
What do you roll for lust? This is fatal, right?
That's willpower.
Wake me up.
Willpower.
Oh God, do I really have to roll it? 1 second.
No, you don't actually roll it.
Yahtzee.
Benji, at this point, you don't recall 100% the memory you had. Whatever it was, you understood that it was positive. It was something that you want to... It's like a memory you wanted to cling on to, as much as it kind of dispersed around you and kind of started breaking apart, and the mist began to fill your vision. And the next instant, you open your eyes, and you see that Luca is kind of like looking over you.
Grinning, and when you open your eyes, he goes, "Hey, killer, how you feeling?"
Benji blinks a little bit, not knowing what was real since that memory felt so real, like he was back there again. He looks at a grinning Luca, says, "Luca, are you real? Am I dreaming?" And then he touches his face. He's like, "Okay, I think you're real." And then starts waking up.
When you say "I think you're real," Luca just goes, "That makes one of us."
At this point, as you stand there looking amongst your companions, gathering yourselves, again, looking down this hall, you're going to see several doors, thresholds kind of open. Individuals in states of being either catatonic or sobbing or crying, and all of them kind of slumbering are gathered there. Some of them just wasting away. Whoever designed this tunnel, whoever designed this test, is a cruel individual. But perhaps in that cruelty, there is a mercy. Perhaps these people could be suffering those same memories, those moments in time in their lives when they were the most happiest. But some probably would be suffering as you had experienced those memories where regret touched the hardest. And so you begin to move through the tunnel. It doesn't take long for one of you to notice something very strange about this tunnel in particular. The structure itself seems to replicate that of what you've seen thus far within Namu. But you're going to notice that there are, instead of beams kind of hold, towards the architecture holding up the weight of this tunnel, you're going to see that these beams are actually pillars of stone. And upon these pillars of stone etched, you're going to see several icons, which again, one that is very prevalent is that of a dragon with 5 heads.
Jarn, knowing what I do as an arcanist of the Arcanum, can I sense if there's any kind of presence of another Arcanum here? Is that something that I'm able to do or roll for? Trying to figure out what's causing this. I'm trying to figure out what's causing this dream stuff, because this is weird.
I'm going to say it's going to be insight willpower, and the DL is going to be 13.
Okay, one moment. Let me just check something here real quick. What are my psychic gifts that I have?
And actually, if you want to, what we could do, if you bring this up to your group and get them involved, we could do a group check off of this to see if they can help you out.
Sure, yeah. So as we're walking through these tunnels, Luca's staying close to Benji, just knowing that it was like he was the last to awaken. Like looking at all these people like that are in the halls that are moaning, looking very troubled. Friends, I think there might be something strange here. I'm trying to figure out what is causing this. And I begin explaining in rudimentary terms what the Arcanum are and how they kind of function, or how I believe they function as like these like proto-essences of the gods that used to rule this world, sort of thing. Like it could be wrong, it could be right, who knows. But this is how Luca is interpreting through the lens of his past life before he reawoke on this world. And just trying to get a sense for the magic of what this place is to better understand it. And I tell the others like specific key points to look for and things to look for to see if we can pinpoint what this is.
All right, so if you guys are going to be doing a group check, insight willpower for the group, the DL is going to be 10. Luca, for you, it's going to be 13. Let me go ahead and set it up on the Foundry for everybody else.
Is there a support check difficulty?
It's going to be 10.
Oh, okay, so 10 and 10.
No, 13 is for the group. For the group check overall. This is what Luca has to roll. You guys are going to be doing the support, and you should see it now on the screen.
No character selected.
Oh gosh.
So I'll just roll an insight willpower with a DC 17.
Just roll insight willpower then.
I did it.
Amelia gives you a +1. D does not give you a +1. Benji, just roll insight willpower.
Did not do it.
You set one up. We're just supporting one.
Yeah, you're supporting.
Oh,
Just-
support.
Yeah, just roll insight willpower.
Okay, let me do it again.
No worries.
Group check.
If you're just rolling, just okay, perfect. All right. So you got a +1 from Amelia. And Luca, you are up.
And what was it?
D does not help, and Benji literally is like probably like, you know, the wind, a breeze just comes in, and you see like his hair just rustling, and he kind of like moves his head around, and it's just like, oh my gosh, this is that moment.
Yeah, no, I got, with the +1, I got an 8.
So am I supposed to react to him saying?
I mean, you can, but essentially I was explaining things for you to look for, you didn't see anything, more or less.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
So, Luca, at this point, the only thing you know is that you can feel the presence of something here. There's a thinning of the veil between this realm and that of the elements, but you can't exactly pinpoint what or how. And for the most part, in the distance, you kind of just hear, it's almost, for you, it almost becomes obligatory. You hear the sound of rolling waves off in the distance.
Okay. Cool. I continue on then, with my group, with my party.
The hall does not present any further danger to you as you continue on. Although, for those who are sensitive, again, to the elements, you hear that sound of rolling water and waves from a distant ocean that no longer exists, wanting to be here again. At this point, you see that the several pillars are there, and again, Luca had taken an interest, and so when you pass by them, you see these pillars and you realize, oh, that same icon is there, the five-headed dragon. But nothing comes to mind in regards to it. It's just that, an etching upon an old stone column. Finally, you make it towards the end of the hall. The door there is one that is made of a heavy, darkened oak. And at this point, as you grab at the latch, you open the door, stepping through. The next room is far wider than the hall that you had stepped through. It seems to be like one of these rooms that connects several other rooms. Inside of this room in particular, you see several chairs and a table. You see several bottles of wine, some tipped over, kind of revealing that they're emptied, some still having liquid inside. And you'll see that Sliver is sitting on top of one of the chairs, kind of just waiting for you to enter. At this point, she has a goblet in her hand, and you see that she has filled her glass with some wine. At the moment that you guys open the door, she kind of stops herself and looks over. almost surprised, and she says, "Oh, I hadn't expected you all to have been able to overcome that so quickly. You truly are formidable. I am surprised." At this point, she raises her goblet and toast to you all before she takes a long swig from it.
All in a day's work, as they say.
Well, if you would have asked me, I would have said that most of you would have passed. Although, I'm so happy that he passed, and she nods towards Benji.
Benji goes back to being quiet mode, doesn't say anything. He just smiles at her and just looks away again.
Could you perhaps explain what that was, or what this five-headed dragon on the pillars might be? Very curious about anything you might be willing to tell.
She goes ahead and she cocks her head off to one side. You see her haircut being one, like, again, she's probably has a mohawk on her head. Not too big, just kind of short mohawk. And it's this silvery kind of thing. You'll see that she tilts her head and looks over towards Luca for a moment. I would be more than happy to tell you anything you would like to know, but it would cost you. Information does not come for free.
And what would the price of such information be?
Depends on what you have. So, Luca, you could do a willpower. DL is going to be 10.
Willpower, you say?
Yep. DL is going to be 10. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. You could actually just like, hey, you know what? That's fine. I don't need this information.
1 second.
I mean, do you want me to give you a Fabula point?
Sure. But I'm also going to... Excuse me. I'm going to activate my clairvoyance. When an NPC becomes your focus, because she is now, I am like lasered in on her. I want to know who she is. And basically, you ask the game master a single question about that NPC, and the game master must answer truthfully. Then describe what sensation revealed this information to you.
Is clairvoyance not an action that you need to take during a combat?
It says when an NPC becomes your focus, or when you create a bond towards an NPC.
Correct. When you create a focus, how do you focus in on them? Which I think is actually off of another ability that you have. I believe that's correct. But you know what? For the sake of just moving forward, because I don't remember exactly all the aspects of the psychic, go ahead and we'll say that you go ahead and focus in on them.
1 second. Oh, okay, wait, it's right here. At the start of your turn during... Oh, it has to be during a conflict. Sorry, never mind. Ignore me then. Yeah, it focuses combat. I will come back to that then. So I will roll willpower then. My apologies.
No, you know what? No need to apologize. This is a game. We build around it. Go ahead. You focus in. That free Fabula point I was gonna give you. I'm gonna turn it into that. I'll allow you to focus in on her.
Well, I got a 9 on the roll, but my clairvoyance, I want to know, is she significantly older than she looks?
That's your big question? Wow. Okay, I take back my Fabula point. I'm taking back the clairvoyance. You can't
No,
ask that
I
question.
mean like significant.
You never ask a woman a... Oh, gosh, man.
No, because some...
Yeah, come on, man. Never ask a woman her age.
I'm not asking
She's
her...
20.
I'm not
She's
asking her
21 and
age.
loving it.
I'm not asking her age specifically. I'm trying to figure out if she might be from when I was
Oh my
alive.
God.
That is what I'm trying to like.
Yeah.
That is what I'm trying to like. There's something off about her, and this magic isn't magic you usually see in the world today. This magic is like shit that would have come from when I was alive before. And she's being cagey about saying what it is. There's this 5-headed dragon. I'm trying to see if she is somehow from when I was alive, because there's something off about her. That's the angle I'm going at.
I got you. I need to answer that sincerely and honestly as the GM. I'm going to say that Luca, no, she seems to be as old as she says that she is.
Okay.
She doesn't seem to be a person from your time or anything to that effect. Although, I will say there is something off about her.
Got
You
it.
don't know exactly what it is, but you're sure that something is affecting this building, something is affecting the people within the building, and you feel that it might be affecting her as well.
Cool. On my willpower roll to ascertain what the cost might be or what I might be able to offer, I rolled a 9, so that is a failure.
Yes. And so she comes out and she says, well, if you want to know the information, let me go ahead and roll real quick myself. She comes out and she says, I will be more than happy to provide any information for, let's say, 160 Zenit.
I don't know how much Zenit I have. One moment. 160?
160.
Fuck it. I'll do it. I have 10 Zenit left. Fuck capitalism.
You're not even gonna negotiate.
That was the die roll. That was the attempt on the die roll.
And no, he's a prince. He just kind of like bill me.
Fair.
They have no concept of poverty. Oh my god.
You'll see that Sliver goes ahead, and as the Zenit are tossed in her direction, she begins to scoop them up, and you see that she looks over towards Luca, brandishing this devious smile upon her face. She goes ahead and looks towards the hall, and she says, I honestly don't know much of how this all came to be, but there's something here. Inside of Namu, there's a presence. Others have felt it, just as myself, and you have probably witnessed it going down that hall.
No.
A place that's not meant to be here, or perhaps, rather, a place that's meant to be here and wants to return. I'm positive you felt it. Anyways, it's a bunch of old rocks and things like that, things that I normally don't like to get myself involved in. But if you continue succeeding upon the tests, you may speak to one of the Dahlin twins. They may be able to give you more insight. Hopefully you speak with Veronica. She probably knows more. Cider's not bright.
I look forward to speaking with her then.
But anyways, and you see that Sliver goes ahead, grabs a glass. She takes the last swig and then just like tosses it over her shoulder, and you hear the crashing of the glass. She stands up from the chair and she just looks over towards you and she says, well then, are you ready to continue?
Luca will look to his companions for them to answer.
I mean,
Let's
the
go.
first test was easy. How much worse can the second test be? Oh my god, Tita. I'm being bombarded. She won't let me leave, like, put her down. I'm just trying desperately to keep her, like, out of the headphone that is my mic. But this is Tatum.
Hey, Tina. So cute.
Aw.
I think she just came in from the porch, so she's extra clingy with, like, cold feet. Oh my, Tatum. Thank you. Can't headbutt the book tower. My camera's on. But yes, I'm ready. Whenever.
All right. You'll see that Sliver goes ahead and begins to move towards the opposite end of the room. As you pass along, you're going to notice a great amount of items kind of discarded within this room. Looking over it and kind of walking, sometimes having to walk over it, you're going to see both small baubles, bits and baubles kind of collected over the years, tchotchkes that belong to someone. But what catches your attention more so than anything else are items that would technically have sentimental value. Old photos, a journal, pages. As you pass along, you begin to wonder, are these items belonging to the people in that hall? Or are these items that have been collected from the people that had been caught within that hall and were not able to overcome the test? The thought lingers there for a moment, but Sliver goes ahead and calls your name, or calls your attention, and quickly you kind of turn and focus on her. Sliver continues moving along. She leads you again through a winding labyrinth, taking turns left and right throughout the Namu. At certain points, you see that the architecture begins to change. The hall doesn't look as modern as it does, rather taking a more... I'm going to say it's going to take on a more archaic look and feel to it. You're going to see that the walls are made of stone. Light still being fed electricity through wires kind of feed several of these halls. And finally she comes up to the final test, as she has called it. In front of the door you'll see several individuals of the roamers standing guard. Some of them caught in a game of chance, and they kind of look over each other as the Sliver begins to approach, and they stand to attention. Looking over, they see the lot of you arrive. They begin to smile and laugh and jeer, and at this point one of them calls out and says, "Oh, Captain, are these the new ones that are going to be tested? If they fall," looking over towards Benji, "can I keep his hat?" You see that Sliver goes ahead and shoots that man a smile and says, "Oh, I don't think he's going to fail. Although, that one," and looks over towards Luca with his weapon, "you can keep whatever he has. He might fail." You see that the roamers begin to kind of laugh and giggle in response. Sliver turns her attention back towards you. "Are you ready for your final test? Afterwards, you get to meet the Dallins and become an official roamer."
Let's go.
Piece of cake.
Ooh, ambition, I like that. Isn't there an old saying, pride before the fall, or something to that effect?
Pride cometh before the fall, but you can't get anywhere if you're always at the top.
Oh, when you fall, I'm going to just thrill at the idea of you landing. Well, would you land at that point, or is it more of a crash?
It's nothing that I can't get back up from.
I will say this. You see that she turns her attention towards the group, and you see that she takes a more serious tone. This is a test not everyone passes. Some have found it means to cheat through it, looking back towards the other roamers that are there. But I don't think you will. And I think that perhaps some of you will pass. Not all of you, just some. Just know this. It will hurt a lot. But I think you'll be fine. And she says this as she goes and walks over towards the game of chance, grabbing the dice off of the table. She rattles them in her hands and then throws the dice onto the table. You'll see that some of her guards kind of look over and they look towards the dice and they're like, "Oh, she rolled a 7. She's lucky." And at this point, she offers a smile. She points towards the door. "Well then, get to it.
We start walking.
Luca will open the door and let everyone in before he follows after.
Ah, such a gentleman.
Benji walks. Just walks. No sound.
Try not to get lost in his eyes.
All right. I'm always lost in Benji's eyes.
I'm lost in his O's and his U's. Ha-cha-cha!
I don't know. I might get lost in his A's. Sometimes Y's.
Eee! And I'm done, everyone.
Towels.
Goodbye. It's been a wonderful night. Y'all finish the stream. I'm gonna go jump off a bridge.
And we cut it there. You're probably wondering how I got here.
What was a what? Excuse? What are these clocks, Jarn? This is making me very uncomfortable right now.
Woes of Amelia, woes of D, woes of Luca.
And then it's just gonna be like, Benji's my favorite.
Joys of Benji.
The Benji.
All right. Here. One moment, please.
You got it.
I really needed
Oh
this
my
tonight,
God.
guys. Thank you so much. I've had a really kind of a rough week, and this table is always brings me joy. So thank you so much.
Aww.
We do our best. You're gonna have to keep up after this session ends. This playthrough ends.
All right. Let me go ahead and create the scene for you. See, if I was a great GM, I would have had this scene already created, but since I was wanting to see which direction you guys went, I'll wait till later to create it. And now I'm kicking myself in the rear.
We've all been there. Don't worry about
Don't
it.
worry, Darn. I'm not convinced this isn't your way of telling me to give you a character background.
Maybe. Hold on. Alright, hold on. Let me grab this one.
Boy.
Alright, perfect.
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 Alright, that's gonna work. Let me go here.
I feel like Dee is especially equipped for this because one of her themes is woe. Whoa.
Her difficulty die is reduced by 1.
Yay!
Just the woe.
Yeah.
Right. Let me just make sure you guys are able to see this, and you are. All right, let me go ahead and pop this open. All right.
Music stopped.
That's because it is changing to something a little more ominous.
Oh.
Uh-oh. I love when people call out the music because they don't play with it on. Because it would just be coming from my computer speakers, and everyone would get a weird echo.
The moment you stepped through the door, you had thought that perhaps you would end up in another room, something akin to the hall. Again, a trap devised by some cunning mind. But at this point, as you step through and listening to Sliver's last words, holding on to that ambition that you will overcome, you stand through, and you find yourself all standing upon a shore. The shoreline seems to stretch for miles in either direction, although you can't see exactly where it ends, for a gray mist surrounds it. Off in the distance you can see promontories standing tall. The sky is muddled in darkness, and every now and then a crashing sliver of lightning cuts through the air. The waves are tormenting, rising around you and lashing out at the very surf that you stand upon. In the first instance, none of you realized how dangerous this was. The first wave came crashing down and you felt its force. But it's not just something physical. It's also the fact that with every crash of the wave, you can feel your emotions, the despair, growing stronger and eating away at your very being. At this point, you have to figure a way out. You have to figure a way to return back away from this echo. And so you find yourselves in the echo of woe. The sea itself is there, and for all intents and purposes, is tangible to you. But you have to discover the way of breaking through, of surpassing this location. And so you're going to see clocks up on the screen. These clocks are going to be 8 slices. You guys are all going to take actions. These are individual actions of how you will overcome this. You're going to go ahead, devise a plot or a plan for yourself or with your group, trying to decide how you're going to be able to kind of overcome this. I will go ahead and offer your attributes and the DLs, and you are going to roll. The clocks are not going to move on their own, but I will say that there is a special thing about the clock. At the end of every round, those clocks can do something. So, it's up to you guys to decide how you are going to progress.
Benji's looking at the shore, looking at the tides, everything, his surrounding, and the only way that he feels like he could conquer this would be to actually just run towards the wave and jump in.
I will say that will be attribute is going to be dexterity. I'll let you choose the other. And running into the waves is actually going to be a higher DL, so I'm going to put it at DL 13.
Ooh. I'm going to use a Fabula point.
I would keep that 8 though, because that's your max on that die. I would just re-roll the willpower.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see, invoke. You can just do it to invoke bond to push it. That's fine, right?
Pushing will only add if you want to re-roll.
Oh, so just do a re-roll. Okay.
Yeah, invoking to push is that you're invoking a bond. So the most that you can have in bonds with a person is 3. I don't think anybody has 3 just yet in terms of bonds.
So close.
But now, if you wanted to push with a bond of like 2, you would hit that 13.
Yeah. I think you have a bond of 2 with Luca, don't you?
No.
Oh.
I have a bond with each of you.
Same here.
He's gonna go ahead and use a bond with Luca, especially the bond of admiration, especially how Luca's been looking after him. And since this whole mission has started since they were in the building, so he's going to use
So
that.
if you use that bond, it only brings it up to 12.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
And you
the
still
number
burn
of
that Fabula bond.
points you have in your bond. So if you only have 1 point in your bond with Luca, your score will only go up by 1.
up by 1, so I would have to use another one to another family point. Make it 13, right?
I would
I
suggest
think
just
you
using
only-
using a Fabula point, invoke another trait, and re-roll that willpower.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be your best bet.
Okay. Sorry.
Because you can only ever invoke 1 bond on a roll. Doesn't matter what the roll is. You can only ever invoke 1 bond to push.
Sorry, guys.
You're
You're
No worries.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's a learning experience. The Benji.
You did it.
Oops, sorry.
Da
Amanda.
Benji.
Da Benji.
Benji, you run into the massive waves. As they begin to pull back, you see that the waves are going to be ebbing, moving forward momentarily. You trying to devise a way to get through this, you throw yourself at the waves. In the next instance, the waves lift you up and begin to bring you back to the shoreline, crashing down. Thankfully, though, you are strong enough to actually swim and try to keep yourself from actually taking any sort of damage as the waves deposit you upon the shoreline. It is perhaps not that direction you want to go.
Dee goes over and immediately checks on Benji to make sure he's okay. Just because her, sisterly kind of instinct towards him was activated by seeing him run towards the waves, because she knew he was trying, but it was also kind of scary because she's seen people take their final choices before, and it was just like almost triggering for her. So she's like standing over him, making sure he's okay.
All right. I will say, though, as D is standing there, again, the waves coming in are massive. This isn't just a small little wave. These are big waves that engulf the entirety of the shoreline. So it's just kind of like you're waiting, trying to get Benji and seeing if he's okay, and at the same time, you're kind of trying to gauge how soon you have to move before the next wave comes in. And at the same time, you'll see like a small wave come in, and Benji's hat just kind of floats up to him.
So she grabs the hat and she kind of tries to also grab and not pull Benji, but help him up in hopes that he'll be able to support himself.
Benji gets, he just shakes it off. He starts waking up, like, what just happened? Realizes what's actually happening around him and struggles to get up, almost trips, but he gets up. And, hey, where's my hat?
When they're a safe enough distance away, Dee kind of shoves it at him and goes, "Don't scare me like that again."
Sorry, D. Promise. No, I can't promise that.
All right, who's next?
I have an idea.
Right.
I have an idea if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead. I was just going to take like a grounding moment.
Cool. That actually fits in with what I kind of want to do too. While Dee is helping Benji, Lucas steps closer to the waves, letting the small ones, rise and then fall back as those lines on his skin begin to glow with a bluish light. And I want to use Navigator, my Esper ability, because it allows me to perform rituals of the ritualism discipline. To gain information about the Soul Network, and I'm trying to determine if we have somehow accessed it, because this should not be here, as far as I understand the world. So basically, you gain the ability to perform rituals of the ritualism discipline. Additionally, you may use ritualism to transport creatures in and out of the Soul Network, and to gain information and track entities inside of the Soul Network. So I want to basically ground while we're all together in this moment, helping each other as a unit, with Amelia grounding herself too, as our energy connects to this plane. And as his skin glows, light around us encircles us in that same blue light and that same pattern that's on his skin, and forms us in a bubble where information about the Soul Network is just like spreading across the bubble in languages that are both known, unknown, decipherable, undecipherable, as I'm gaining information about where we are and what this is.
Ooh.
All right, I will set the DL for that is going to be 10.
Sweet. And I figure that's insight willpower?
It's ritualism, it should be insight willpower.
Sweet. It's a D8 and a D10. You said the DL was 10 on this?
Yep.
Big money, big money, big money. 10 exactly.
I mean, it works.
So, as you are standing there, Luca, trying to get a sense of the location that you're at, again, trying to connect with this, it's almost a cacophony of the sounds of lost souls, screeching, calling, wanting to be found, trapped within the same location that you are. You realize that, yes, this is a part of the Snow network. Not 100% sure how. You're not 100% sure how it all, works or binds together. But you know that the Soul Network is very vibrant here. It's almost as though this might be just a junction within the Soul Network. But again, it's too hard to kind of get it's too hard to understand how it all kind of comes together. But you know that souls are trapped in here. And beneath it all, again, you hear the sound of roaring waves. Wait. Was that the sound of a roaring wave? It sounded like a woman crying. No, couldn't have been. And so at this point, you're standing there and a massive wave begins to form, threatening to crash against the shoreline. Amelia, who would like to go up next?
I mean, I was just gonna... We're on a beach with actual ocean and fresh air and a breeze. She's just gonna, for a moment, take a moment, face the breeze, in, out.
I love how this is like a chaotic storm and the shoreline is being wrecked by waves, and this is like, I'm gonna take a moment to breathe.
There's peace in the chaos. There is peace in the chaos, and it is fresh air, fresh ocean air, which is fantastic. Fresh ocean air pre-storm, it's beautiful. She's going to take a moment, center herself, and in-tune herself with her intuition. Is there anything at this moment that her intuition, her gut is telling her, needs to happen, should do?
Insight, and
Okay.
I will allow you to decide what the other die roll is going to be, just because I don't want to be that person and be mean. DL is going to be 10.
I feel like that's insight willpower, right?
If you think so, it's up to you. I give you the first one. You decide the second one.
Yeah, I'll take an insight willpower. I'll take a 10.
Nice, you succeed. For a moment, as you're trying to center yourself, you kind of have the idea or the concept. Again, as you said, you're trying to focus in on yourself. You're trying to focus in on this moment, taking these little aspects of the scene and trying to use that to calm you, to kind of, again, center yourself. You feel for a moment, it's almost like very quickly. It's almost as though something that just overcomes you, like a shadow crossing your face, where you feel everything calms down enough that you hear nothing. You feel nothing. It's almost as though you're standing in a room. But quickly, as that thought crosses your mind, you are faced with this towering wave that is threatening the shoreline. Your companion's trying to figure out how to either avoid it or getting ready to take the hit from it. All right, excellent. And finally, D, you are up.
Okay, so D in this chaos, in this even just the feeling that she's getting from this place, remembers the mirror she got in the in-between world with the doorway. And so she pulls it out and she looks into it to kind of like see, because it reminded her of it for some reason, and she's trusting her gut. And so she pulls out this mirror shard or piece and looks into it and just kind of like hopes against hope that it might offer some kind of insight.
I'm going to say that it will be let's say it's going to be insight. I will say that the DL is going to be 10, but I will give you a +2 to your roll, and you get to decide what the other attribute's going to be.
Okay.
Also, Carlos's video just went off.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. 1 second, I'll mess it.
So we might be in shambles. I might be
No, weirdly the rest of the cameras are okay. It just kind of shows my face.
Gotcha.
Let me do. So I'm gonna do insight and might, and the might is like just her using her grit and determination, and just like trusting in the process, but also just kind of like solidifying her stance, and like just kind of like taking this in with as much, kind of like Jesus take the wheel as there is in her system.
Bracing for the wave while not breaking
Yes,
concentration.
exactly.
So did that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
Really? I don't have that point.
That's gonna be a total of 8.
Are you sure it wasn't 4?
So, at this point, you're going to see that D looks at the mirror in hand. The towering wave is looming over you guys up on the shore as it's threatening to crash upon you. As D looks, trying to get any insight, nothing really comes. At this point, though, D, you are going to be... Give me a second here. Ooh, close. You are going to be poisoned. It's a status effect. Look at your character. The poisoning comes from the fact that, again, the moment that you're in is filling everything with these weird, dark emotions, and for the most part, it is a depression that begins to eat away at your sanity, at your being, and you feel it. You feel as though you're not going to make it. Your companions are not going to make it. And so, that is going to be the end of round 1. And at this moment, the massive wave comes crashing down. For a moment, you think you can avoid it. Standing as mightily as you can, trying to deflect it as much as you can, trying to hide from it as much as you can, but the wave comes down, and as it does so, it sweeps you away. For a moment, you're lifted up into the very air as water attempts to drown you. The water, though, is bitter and cold, and for a moment, you almost seem as though you're flying. But the sounds, the melancholy sounds that fill the water in your ears, you're underwater, begin to groan and cry, and you can hear the torment coming from thousands, if not more. In the next instance, the wave tosses you once more, and you find yourselves back on the shore. Everybody, with the exception of D, is going to take 5 damage. D, you're taking 10.
Where'd my character should go?
It's on Foundry.
No, it
right here.
It just disappeared for a second. I have an idea of something to try for this round. Who knows?
All right, so we're at the top of round 2. It's up to you guys.
So that energy bubble obviously it's not like a shield or anything, but when the wave crashes on us and we fly, it coalesces, and I'm going to be summoning my Arcanum of the Gate and merging with it. And in doing so, realizing that we're hearing souls of the dead and this soul network and interacting with it, realizing that space, travel, and void are all metaphors in his mind for the idea of the psychopomp and realizing what this arcanum actually should represent. And as he merges with the arcanum, becomes a psychopomp, and opens his eyes to the entirety of the soul network through the lens of his arcanum. It essentially gives me like resistance to dark magic and +1 magic defense, but I'm using that to understand how we're supposed to interact with this scene right here, as opposed to it hurting us, using it to find a way for us to flow with it.
So, I'm going to put a asterisk on this. You can definitely do that. When you try to invoke your Arcanum, I will say that it is going to be a battle of wills, as your Arcanum, as you're in this location again, which seems to be part of the Soul Network, its personality is going to try to fight against Luca's as Luca summons it forth. So, you can summon it. I will say, though, that there might be some angst in that relationship, as your Arcanum, the Guardian of the Gate, might try to overwhelm Luca.
Okay. Sure. And so
okay.
What am I rolling for this? Because I don't have to roll anything to summon it. I just spend my MP, but I know there's a roll for the clock, so what would you like me to roll?
Yes, because technically speaking, summoning an Arcanum, that's actually something you do during combat, I do believe, as well. Like, you have to take an action. But with this in particular, I'm going to ask you to roll a willpower. I'll let you choose what the other die is going to be. The DL is going to be 10.
Can I do willpower on this?
Yeah, you guys get to choose a second attribute. I don't fight you.
I think since it's a battle of wills, this I feel.
You know what? I'm going to say it's willpower, dexterity. How about them apples?
Willpower, dexterity. Okay, I can do that too. That's fine.
No, just kidding. Willpower. Go for it.
Yeah, I figure since this is a battle of wills, my will needs to be as great, if not stronger. And the deal's 10, you said?
Deal's 10.
Big money. I don't have any more Fabula points. I got a 9. That is a failure.
The Arcanum. You begin to summon forth the Arcanum, and the Arcanum, the Guardian of the Gate, comes in to this reality as you pull them into this reality. You can feel the darkness seeping off of them, and at this point, as you look around, you have this negative feeling. It becomes bitterly cold, and you can see that the Arcanum itself turns its attention towards you, almost not desiring to be here. In the next instance, you feel yourself kind of falling back as the Arcanum goes ahead and launches an attack upon you. Again, this is supposed to be not like a physical representation. This is more of an abstract thing, but you feel that the Arcanum overpowers you. And you'll see that Luca kind of falls back towards the shoreline. At this point, Luca, you're going to be taking 5 points of damage.
Cool. And when are you in crisis again?
When you're half of your total life.
Cool. Okay. So I'm not quite there yet. Awesome. Cool. Anyone else want to go?
I think I have something. John, please let me know if I'm barking up the wrong tree, but in mine and Amelia's head, these waves are directly reacting to how much woe we have, sort of deal, like how many bad vibes we're bringing to the table. And so in an effort to lessen those bad vibes, I think we should try to chase that serenity she felt before when she was grounding herself, to dredge up any happy, hopeful, and just kind of warm feeling memories to like try to placate the ocean, calm the ocean, make the waves less severe.
All right. I will say insight. I'll allow you to choose the other attribute, and I'll say that the DL is going to be 10.
Fair. In order to not accidentally dredge up a really sad memory, it's going to be willpower.
Oh my gosh, that was a 1 and a 2.
Does a 12 work?
I was about to like start laughing so hard.
I still have that one Fabula point.
So, you begin to select the memories that you want, the ones that bring you happiness and joy. You try to bring those memories to the forefront, and for the most part, you kind of look over towards the waves, try to look at your companions, and try to see any semblance of happiness that you would have been able to draw from them. You don't know why, but again, you have that momentary feeling that this present moment isn't tangible. It's almost not real. But at the same time, you realize it is real. You are standing here, right? Question mark. And so at this point, you begin to try to focus in on that happiness, hoping that the wave, or at least this scenario, will end. But as you realize the happiness that you're trying to produce, to procure, the fact still kind of plays upon you that this place is one of wallowing despair. Hence the reason, the echo of woe. Alright, who would like to go next? Either Benji or D.
I'll go ahead. And so Dee didn't have luck with the mirror, and she's frustrated, but she kind of like looks over and notices that Amelia is like not quite in the moment, but also entirely consumed by the moment. Like she looks like she's channeling or something, and Dee's just like, what's going on over there? And then she's like, kind of thinks about it, and she's like, this is a test. This can't be what is happening. This can't be real. And if it is real, then it's all manufactured by someone or something. Like, this doesn't make logical sense. And so she's just kind of like relying on her logic brain to like see through this illusion that is cast around her.
All right, so we will say that it's going to be insight. You get to choose the second attribute, and I will say that the DL is going to be 7, just because you've been looking at Amelia, and it seems as though Amelia's onto something.
So I'm gonna do insight just because it's like really and truly that's what the goal is to have insight and to look past. Even though it's not as high as my highest dice.
Sacrifice it for the roleplay purposes.
Do it for the narrative.
Nice!
Yay!
Whoa.
Narrative!
Yay!
That's 7, 10, and you don't have any more willpower. Okay, so you're going to have 2. You're going to gain 2 slices. You begin to realize that you are in fact correct, D. This place shouldn't exist, right? But at the same time, as much as you want it to be correct and that this is a test, something about it, something feels wholly natural, as though this is a sliver of the world, a slice of it. What part exactly? You're not wholly aware, but looking towards Amelia, you feel ambitious enough that you're going to be able to overcome this challenge. And finally, Benji.
Benji is he's just watching Amelia and Dee, listening to what they're saying, and realizing that this somehow is more in tune with our internal feelings than it. Maybe this is how we have to somehow be good with ourselves and show that we're together, and maybe this is how we fight, is by showing that no matter what's going to bring us down, we are going to push through. So, he thinks maybe we should really be holding each other's hands and see if maybe we can just somehow release all stress and just feel peace. I don't know.
I don't think Amelia or Dee have said a single word.
So, at this point, Benji, I'm going to say it's going to be, I'll give you a DL7, Insight is going to be with the one attribute. You get to choose the other one.
So, 7.
Guys, I'm gonna step away 1 second. My dog's something's going on with my dog. I'll be right back.
For sure.
Here for you,
All
dog.
right. You succeed. You got 11 off of a 7. That's going to be 2 slices that you're adding on there. Again, there's a calming notion to this, looking towards Amelia, looking towards D, which kind of envelops you. And as you begin to focus, trying to overcome the challenges here, overcome the fact that, again, this darkness, this despair looms here, you feel a little bit more emboldened. Now, it is the end of the round. The wave gathers in strength and poses a threat upon the group. All right. All of you are going to be taking 10 points of damage.
Ooh, I am not in good shape.
It is the top of the 3rd round. You guys get to go.
I'll take it because I'm just gonna more or less be continuing on the same track of like, despair can be managed, sorrow can be managed. It is a natural occurrence. It is meant to be felt. You just can't wallow in it. So I would, in turn, with the grounding and the meditation and the happy memories, if a sorrow comes to me, if a memory of sorrow and despair and loss of hope and just sad comes across my mind, I will let it have its time, but I will move along. Sorrow, woe is natural. You can feel it. You can sit with it. You can't stay there.
All right. I'm going to say willpower is going to be one of your die, and DL is going to be 10.
Yeah, I'll take double willpower on that guy.
Ooh, 14. Good job. So that's going to be 2 slices you're adding to the clock. Excellent. At this point, again, you allow these momentary flourishes of despair, sadness to kind of come into your being. And for the most part, you are doing the best that you can to allow it to kind of be there. Almost nurturing it, but understanding that it is a fleeting thing like everything else in life. And it's not something that's going to corrupt you. You're hoping that, again, your actions will lead others. Talking about others, who would like to go next?
I'll do it. So, unlike Amelia, who's like, I will be gracious, I will let this waft over me, I will experience this and then let it go. Dee is basically looking in the face of her own depression and going,
Not today.
yeah, she's like, I can fight my own brain. I can win. Like she is sticking her landing. She is ready to just raise her dukes against whatever demons try to come at her from her own mind. She is stubborn.
All right, I'm going to say willpower. DL is going to be 10. You get to choose what the other die is going to be.
Okay, so this is willpower and again might, just because she is really, she's ready to fight. She's ready to go with this. If she could make her woes tangible, she would fight them.
You know what then? I'm actually going to say, you know what? Instead of willpower, let's do might is going to be my choice, and you get to choose the other one.
All right, so I'm going to do might. Fight.
DL's 10.
Fight. Kiss.
Really?
Oh.
Are you kidding me? Right now?
D.
The dice are against me.
You go ahead, and as you stand there trying to be, you're trying to oppose the feelings that are overwhelming, again, the disparity of this place. much as you want it to, you try to stand against it, you try to oppose it, but you feel it overwhelming you. The memories of your escape begin to loom upon you, because at least that was a moment where you despaired, but one that had hope. But everything before that, when you were just another numbered thing in a vat, the scientist looking at you, prodding you, causing you to feel pain, causing you to feel unwanted, that begins to overwhelm you. You are going to be suffering weakened or weak status effects. Benji or Luca, it's up to you guys.
You said we thought could hear like a woman crying, right?
Not you guys, only you.
Only me. Well, there's only one woman in my past, and it's my mother. So, I think after all of this, is like nothing has worked. It's very frustrating. Like, this place is confusing. There's something we're missing. But I heard this like crying, and it emotionally is like resonant within me. And Luca falls down into the sand, letting those lighter waves like just drench his pants, and let the water wash over him and before the tide ebbs and flows. And he just whispers like his mother's name to the point where only he could really hear it, and he just says, "Shari, my mother, I am here. What do you have to tell me?"
DL10, I'm going to say willpower is going to be one of those attributes. You get to choose what the other one's going to be.
Probably insight. 10 and 8. Okay, here we go. Big money, big money. Son of a bitch. I rolled a 3.
So, you call out, and Luca's trying to understand that voice, and he heard his mother's tone upon it, but the voice does not respond back. Rather, as the water kind of washes up, the smaller waves begin to ebb onto Luca, you hear the sounds of more souls that are lost, and this begins to weigh heavily upon Luca. At this point, Luca, I am going to say that you are going to be slowed.
Which one of these is slow? Is that the turtle? That would make sense.
That's the turtle.
What's the exclamation point? Is that crisis?
Actually, yes, that would be crisis. No, not slowed. Sorry, shaken is the one I was thinking of. Shaken, not stirred, but shaken.
Which one is shaken?
You should see it there. Let me see. 1 second.
It's the frowny face with the squiggly line
Okay.
for our mouth.
That's one.
Shaken. Awesome. So that means that my willpower instead of a D10 is now a D8. Got it.
Correct.
Cool.
All right, and I believe Benji's the last to go.
Jeets really does not know what to do at this point, being honest. All he's thinking about is still has something to do with, the chaos of what all this is about. He wonders if maybe we need to be part with the water. So he walks over to the water, kneels down, grabs a little bit of the water, and starts to drink it.
Okay. Benji's going to try to drink the water. I haven't said anything. I did not say anything. Benji, I am going to ask you to do a might. You get to choose what the other attribute's going to be. DL is going to be 10. Oh my gosh. Congrats. Benji, you got a crit. So that's going to be 10. That means that you get to use opportunities. You can look at the opportunity sheets that should be in the player notes, I do believe.
Right.
No, sorry, it's under resources. But you get to you can use it to actually fill up a progress on a clock by 2.
Powers on the clock part 2. That's the oh, that's my clock. Okay, and then resources. All right. Okay, I'm gonna use information.
Okay. What information would you like to gather? You literally could fill the clock. You do realize this, right? Like you're 2 slices away.
Oh, did I miss something? Sorry, hold on.
No. If you look at your clock, if you look at the Benji, you're only missing 2 slices to fill it up. So, I mean, you could go for information, totally down for that, or you could fill up the clock and just complete the clock.
Oh, it's in progress. I was like, that's what progress. I'll use progress. Sorry. So I must have missed that one.
All right. At this point, you'll see that Benji goes over towards the water and begins to scoop up water from the ocean and begins to drink it. The water first off is bitterly cold in your hands, and you can feel it almost sapping away at your life. At the same time, as you begin to drink it, you feel yourself being overwhelmed and taken by despair. A darkness falls over Benji. It's all but almost breaking his being. Benji, what is one thing, one memory that comes to mind that would turn this all around, that would make Benji happy, that would actually lessen the blow from what is occurring?
Benji's now about 15, and his new guard that he was appointed, he remembers asking him to teach him how to fight, teach him how to be strong. And he remembers his training. He remembers everything that he learned from him, and he remembers the man telling him, if you feel like nobody will fight for you, then be the one that fights for you. So then he remembers just the first time he was able to defend himself, and he felt strong. That's a happy memory. Something he always wanted to be was strong.
And through that memory, Benji begins to calculate or consider, have you been strong? And for the most part, kind of recounting all of what's been transpiring in the recent memory, you begin to realize that yes, Benji has been strong. Benji has withstood a lot of great adversaries, and at the same time has been able to aid his companions. And at that point, as Benji begins to spit out back the ocean water, as it's not amicable for drinking, it's not potable water, Benji, you feel a moment of happiness, and the next instance, you find yourself removed from the shoreline. Alright, so Benji disappears. I'm going to be adding an additional slice to your clock for Benji's success, as you guys begin to understand that this is a world, again, that feeds on depression, it feeds on negative emotions, despair, depression, sadness. But that doesn't mean that you're out of danger. And so, with the end of that round, Benji being the last person to go, it is the end of round 3. We're moving to round 4. You guys are going to see a massive wave crashing down towards the shore, racing to hit you all. All right. All of you are going to be taking 5 points of damage. You are all also going to be dazed.
Which one's dazed?
The wave crashes, beating down upon you. Again, you feel its bitter touch, and at this point, you feel the lament that is being carried by these waves. Whosever dominion is this is one that is filled with great wallowing sadness. How this could be overcome, you don't know. But at this moment, you know you need to escape it sooner rather than later. Maybe Benji had a good idea. Maybe drinking the water might be the way out. Who knows? It is up to you guys. So, who would like to go next?
I'll go. So, Dee just watched Benji disappear after drinking the water, but when he did, she noticed that he looked happy. He had a look on his face of, like, peace, almost, and acceptance, and she realizes, oh god, I'm gonna have to make peace on this, aren't I? And so she kind of like decides to focus on that happy memory that she had of being in the you're muted, by the way, if you don't know. Jarn. Okay. But she decides to focus on that like happy memory of the first time she felt safe, because it was like one of the only times that she was really truly happy, because her life has been really, really hard. And so she forces herself to keep as much focus as she can and just think of it as hard as she can. Almost not desperate, but definitely reaching for it.
Okay, inspired by Benji, I'm going to say the deal is going to be 7. Willpower is going to be one of the dice. You're going to choose what the other one's going to be, and good luck to you.
I'm going to do insight. Just to kind of like looking into that moment and seeing what changes. Like, is it really like, let's see, is it effective for her to think of this moment? Does it change her state of mind in any way? Is this the one that she should be focused on? Like, looking into that. Dang it. I don't have a Fabula point. And Dee's not having a fun time. She's having a hard time.
D, at this point, I'm going to say...
I got a 7 because I got a +2.
+2 from?
Benji, because Benji inspired her.
Oh, I lowered the DL to 7, not +2 from Benji.
Okay, sorry.
No worries.
Darn.
I'm going to say 1 second. Let me see. All right. You are going to be suffering the enraged condition.
Okay.
This is
I know. I'm getting every status effect possible.
totally messing you up.
Yeah.
But I am going to say something which is, being a much older person, I am very tired at this point. I am wondering if we could put a pin on it for today, and we'll come back. And technically, it'll be the 4th round. Dee would have taken her turn, and then we will go ahead and allow Luca as well as Amelia to take their turn as well.
Sure.
Sounds good to me. I also need a nap.
Do we want to hold off on XP until the end of this situation that we're in, Jordan?
No, not at all. XP should be given at all end of any scene. How many Fabula points did you spend?
3.
Oh, you guys might get an extra little bump there. All right.
I realized I was muted the whole time.
Happens to
Gee, I
us.
feel like self-reflection isn't your strong suit.
It's really not. It's not. Dee
All right.
is an action sort of gal.
You guys are going to be getting 11 points, but only 2 of you are going to be getting the 11 points for some reason. Your character Amelia is not popping up on the list. I don't know why.
That's odd.
So we do gain a level. Sweet. I think Arcanist has to be the one I raise, because that is the one that I actually did anything with today. What do I want from Arcanist?
So technically it should be 9 and 14. Okay, there you go, Amelia. You can click on the little finger pointing up, and that should level you up.
I was typing for next time.
Why? It's 10 and 4.
No. I was typing. I will forget what we were doing and what my plan was to get out of those situations. I was just writing that down.
I mean, I forgot what we were doing about a month ago, so who knows? Who knows what happens next?
Hey guys,
Find out next time.
But yeah,
Same
I
bad
think we should.
time, same bad channel.
I think we should wrap up and let. I was about to just call Logan Luca and just be like, let Luca wrap up for us. Go ahead, Luca, sing us out.
Okay, well, oh God, not that. Thank you so much, everyone who popped in and watched the stream for us today. We will be uploading this to YouTube along with our other episodes. We will be continuing Fabula Ultima Echoes into the end of the year. I think we have about maybe 4 or 5 episodes left for that. We might try to do a makeup episode for the ones we missed. We're kind of working out dates a little bit, but we'll keep you informed about that. Please come and join us on the Discord. We have merch. I am wearing a With a Ruffian Attitude t-shirt today. You can find links to that on our website, along with other kinds of cool stuff you can get from both Redbubble and I'm blanking on the name of the other t-shirt company. I will post information about that soon. Again, PAX Unplugged is coming up. Very cool. And we have a really exciting program for Season 9 of the Story Told podcast, starting in February, because we take January off. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful rest of your night. Bye-bye. What is going on with my mouse? There. My mouse went real weird there, everyone.